Hear you. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Oh
Hello.
my gosh, look at that. We're here. Welcome in, everybody, to Highlight Heroes, featuring an amazing guest today. Christian, it's you. Tell us who you are. Yes, tell us.
Oh my God, hi. My name is Christian, aka Goomba, aka Afluffygoomba, on several socials. I am a TikToker mainly, comedy and the D&D variety. So, hi.
We're glad you. Thank you for joining us. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, I'm here with the incomparable Parkerbliss. Parker,
It's
hi.
me. I'm always here.
You are.
Pretty much always.
Yeah,
Always here.
24/7.
Hello. I'm
Lovely to have
Parker
you.
Bliss on all the social medias except for Twitter, which it has a little underscore in between. Why? I don't fucking know.
Because it's Twitter. All right. Well, we're going to do a few announcements, as we always do, and then Parker and I will start asking Christian all the most important questions. But, yeah, you know, we couldn't do anything. Well, Parker, you got the first batch of announcements, right? That's you?
I do. We have scheduling. So we have Ever Changing Arena, DM'd by iSnap Plastic this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have Off the Rails, DM'd by Mr. Sugadance, as always, on March 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we have Conundrum Company on March 20th, DM'd by the incomparable Josh, at 6 p.m. Eastern. And that is our week. You can find that schedule. It'll be posted tomorrow on our social medias.
Woo!
Back to you.
Gosh. And of course, we could do any of this cool stuff like talk to Christian, which we do anyway outside, but we couldn't do it on stream without our sponsors, the first of whom is Skull Splitter Dice. Skull Splitter Dice! Skull Splitter Dice. You're here in person to experience it this time, Christian.
It's a good time.
Welcome in.
Oh, it's a good time.
They not only sponsor our programs, but they also sponsor a giveaway that we do during our session. So go check out our live campaigns if you want to get in on that giveaway. In the meantime, you should go over to their store page and maybe buy some dice, because god dang are they cool, and they are very cost effective. A very good purchase worth considering. Our second sponsor, of course, is Gooey Cube. They make a whole bunch of D&D 5e stuff for game masters to use in their homebrew. It is complete. I mean, from top to bottom, everything's done for you. You buy the kit and you are good to go. It is very cool. It is very fun. Park and I have played in that world before together. We highly recommend it. So take a look at their store page, make a purchase. We want to just draw folks' attention to the community event that's running right now. It's a very big number to meet, but if you meet it, everyone's going to wear onesies and play Dungeons & Dragons. So get in there. Yeah, spend some...
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's going to be so good. Spend some hard-earned Twee tokens there, my friends. I think it's 2,000 to show. Get going on that. And then, of course, just... drawing people's attention to the wiki. That a huge thank you to Tana Mythaldor and all the players for the campaigns for helping me as we build that out into a huge big thing that's got lots of information. Go take a look at it. Last but not least, and most importantly, is this month's charity. Click on that charity button to go and make a donation, or click on it in chat. This month's charity, we'd like to focus our attention and efforts towards highlighting the First Nations Development Institute. The First Nations Development Institute improves economic conditions for Native Americans through direct financial grants, technical assistance, and training, along with advocacy and policy. This is a heavily underrepresented population in the U.S. consistently, and they have been brutally hit by the COVID pandemic. It is a group that we would like to really, if you're going to spend money, that is where you should start, not with us, but with these very, very good causes. So please consider that. And on that note, I think it's time for the show.
It's time for the show.
Woo! Okay, that means we talk about what we're doing, right?
Yes.
Do you wanna go first, Parker? What do you do?
I do. I'm excited. I'm painting this little mini displacer beast, which I think I've said this on the show before, but is my favorite monster. So I'm gonna paint him to look like my cat, Atlas.
Oh my god!
That's amazing.
Because one of my followers and wonderful friends, Merlin, has drawn him as a displacer beast, and I'm gonna paint my little mini to be my cat.
An Atlas Displacer Beast is a 10 out of 10.
He's so
That's
cute.
adorable.
Okay, I'm not painting a mini this week, guys. I am
the world is ending.
attempting to badly draw and color in Brothos the Bold. I've gotten a lot of the way done with the line work here, so I'm going to color him in. That wasn't centered. Let's try this again. There we go. There's our boy Brothos, giving a thumbs up, working on that. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm nearly done with the line work, and we'll see if we get it colored. But most importantly, Christian, what are you doing this week?
I am currently working on a character profile for an upcoming D&D campaign. I will be on coming up soon. Yeah.
Woo!
Ooh, I love
Fancy.
that. Okay.
We're all doing different stuff.
Yeah, we're the Highlight Heroes has gone into a whole new realm, and I like it. I dig it. Okay. Well, I mean, so we're gonna I'm gonna ask a question, and it's gonna be an interesting question. Do you have any mini painting experience?
I actually do not have any mini painting experience.
Okay. So we can just skirt right over that question, I think, because it's irrelevant, and that means we can pass it to Parker.
Oh, great. I love that for me.
Well, I can elaborate if you need some time.
Yeah, you tell me the truth.
I will help.
Goomba's like, I'll save you. You're drowning.
It's all good. Here's a life raft. I say I don't have any mini painting experience because I've never actually done a campaign or played in a game that needed it. I've played mainly with like websites like Roll20 online. Like I've never had the people around me where I live that have the same hobby and the same like level of interest to get that far, despite playing for I think
That's fair.
6 or 7 years at this point.
Wow.
So, but like it's always interested me in the aspect of getting down there and painting and getting in the nitty gritty details and just like the smallest little cute brushes. And then I think of the mess, and I think of all the paints, and I think of like, man, I might be inhaling some fumes that might not be good for my nose, and that terrifies me. So then I'm like, I think I'll stick with online for right now until I get the opportunity.
I've only poisoned myself a couple times, okay? It's fine.
I had a conversation with my partner about this because we have 2 mason jars in our cabinet, and I was looking for the one that I use for paint, and I found that he had been using it as a drink cup. And he was like, I mean, it's clean. I washed it. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I was like, even if you did, like, Josh has drank paint a couple times, and I don't think it's done anything. So I think you're fine. And then I had to explain to him why and what was happening. So
I feel like that does need context when you just say it out loud. Like, he just drinks paint. Like,
I'm
just
perfectly normal.
yeah. No one said you weren't.
No
one said you weren't. Anyway, yeah. So the next question is, how'd you get into D&D?
I think the same way a lot of people in this day and age have gotten into D&D. Critical Role showed up randomly on my recommends. I was like, whoa, all these voice actors I know. I'll check it out. Suck ever since.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Sucked
That's
in
all
ever
she-
since.
That's all she wrote.
And I was like, oh, I really want to play this game. I don't have anybody to play it with. That's going to be a damper on wanting to play, isn't it? Oh, no.
Sometimes
To the
it makes it
internet.
trickier.
To the internet!
Away!
Oh, huzzah!
So the current groups that you play with, have you been playing with them for all 7 years or anything like that? Is that sort of...
Pretty much. Like, I've bounced here and there with strangers, made some friends along the way, as one does. But mainly, I've been playing with the same group of people for about 6 or 7 years at this point. And and I just recently started to get in contact with some Twitch groups, a la The Welcome In and Fae Fiends and Friends.
Yeah! Our good friends over at Fae Fiends and Friends.
Yes, very, very nice, very great. All good people. You guys are all fantastic, and I'm like, how did I not get into this sooner? I am a fool.
Well, I'm glad you're with us now. It's funny because of Star Wars circles, you and I have spent time together in like role play, but unrelated to Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. So you got these years of experience with Dungeons and Dragons. What's your favorite class to play then?
Easy, monk. Done. Monk.
Ooh, wow.
That was fast.
Without a doubt, 100%.
Okay.
Monk.
How come? What's the beauty? What's the appeal of monk? Tell us in your perspective.
Any class that gives me the ability to punch a thing and it works is fantastic. Anytime I get to punch a dragon or a ghost or a fish or a chicken, and it can do damage, sign me up.
A chicken is very specific, and I'm hoping there's a story behind it that you can tell me later. Like,
I can tell you, I can tell you a story later about me punching chickens. But like, anytime you get to punch something that's way, way bigger than you, and you do damage to it, that just the imagery of that alone is like, yes, please, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that sweet kung fu.
it's got that power behind it.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid. So that was very quick. I wonder if this is going to be as quick to answer. Do you have a favorite race to play?
No, this one's a little bit more tricky because I started out just playing humans because they're what I related to closest. But like as the years went on, I decided to like mix and match things just to see how it felt. And recently, I've come to love Warforged a lot. Warforged, again, the aesthetic of, hey, I get to punch things that are way, way bigger than me. Oh, I get to be a robot? Cool.
That's fair. That's fair.
Let me be a robot that never has to worry about exhaustion or drowning or sleep magic or anything.
Honestly, your selections for like favorite are so honest and valid. Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, aesthetically or like emotionally, this spoke to me. But most of us are like, I want to be a robot with punchy arms, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah, there's a lot of honesty there.
Yeah, can I be a rock'em sock'em robot? Yes, sign me up.
Oh my god, hell yes.
That's true. That just needs a toy shop, like, one shot, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a rock'em sock'em robot.
Just a Toy Story D&D campaign.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
You got a friend. Okay. So then you've given us your favorite race, your favorite class. Are there any classes you haven't played that you'd like to try out, like that are on the top of your list?
I've pretty much played every class because I make too many characters, but what D&D player doesn't?
Valid.
Whose D&D Beyond isn't just filled with potential?
Yeah.
Potential that will never see the light of day.
Never see it.
Never fucking see the light of day. Here's my really specific character that I have that no one's gonna make a campaign for.
Ever.
I love those.
They're born to collect dust.
They're born to be NPCs.
Collector's items.
Collector's items. But if I had to pick one that I haven't played a lot of, there are actually two I haven't played a lot of. It's Bards and Wizards.
Really?
Those two are the ones I haven't touched a lot. Okay. Like I can think of like one or two characters I've made that stand out in my mind that are Wizards and Bards.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think that's Parker's question then next.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is me trying to remember where my cat is white versus black.
Sorry, Parker.
You're good. Do you have a race that you're wanting to try next, or try, if you haven't tried, try next, or if you have, try again? Race do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to say I'll say dwarves.
Yeah!
To make you happy.
Woo!
What's the actual answer?
My actual answer.
No, what? No! Let's move on, everybody. Let's go.
I haven't played a lot of dwarves. I think a turtle might be cool.
Ooh,
oh yeah,
yes.
They're rarely played, in my opinion. Triton, every now and then. It's actually been years since I played a human, so I might want to go back to the basics.
Try that again.
Back to square one.
Back to square one. See where that leads me. Yeah. Because my first ever character was Dragonborn Paladin.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, his name is Revan Nalasar, and he was a Paladin of Vengeance, or Paladin of Vengeance.
Great subclass.
Basically, your Punishers or your Batman.
Was he like super edgy? Was he a cool dude?
No, actually, he was a paladin of the Oath of Devotion, but then his company got basically annihilated, and so he turned from devotion to vengeance.
Interesting.
So he had to basically have new tenets and have a new mindset, but he was still stuck in his old set of like peace is the answer. He had to switch to maybe violence is the answer to something. Sometimes, yeah.
It's a fun moral conundrum.
Sometimes you gotta company 6 p.m. Eastern.
Oh my gosh. Can't ever use that word.
I did it. Oh, that's really cool.
Jeez.
Okay, so then, what's your least favorite class to play? Because you've said you pretty much played them all. What's the one that doesn't really do it for you?
I'm gonna say, despite how loud and how big and boisterous I am as a person, bards are the least played class for me.
And do they not do it for you, or is it just one of those where you're like, I'm good?
It's tough, because at one end I'm like, yeah, like bards, storytellers of history. You can tell stories, sing songs, be a researcher. They're so versatile and diverse in the selection, but at the same time, I'm like, something about it just doesn't click for me, right? Which sucks for me, because I would love to find a bard that clicks. It just hasn't happened yet. So I won't say it's my least favorite. I'm just saying I haven't unlocked the potential of my creative process yet.
All right, you haven't made it something that you... I get you.
I haven't made it my own, like I have for a bunch of other classes.
The others, you're like, I know what I'm doing here. This is my...
I don't know what kind of story to tell with a bard.
Ah, that's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
Totally fair. So, is there a race that you've tried that just didn't do anything for you? Or that you looked at the player's handbook and you were like, I have no interest?
Elves.
We've gotten that answer a couple times.
It's a popular one.
It's a popular one, but like, I just like, something about it. It's just like, fantasy. Fantasy just it's the fantasy, you know, like it's the thing. So like I'll play everything but elves, which is weird.
It makes sense.
It makes sense, but like at the same time, I'm like I feel like I'm shortchanging them. I feel like I'm being a jerk when I'm not picking an elf. But I just see them pick so often. I'm like it's the same thing with bards. It's like I haven't found a story for an elf yet.
Yeah, I think I've always had a little reticence as well with elves, and I think a part of it is like I don't know what story would fit me that I would tell for elves. I wouldn't do them justice.
Which I have that problem, but with dwarves.
How dare you!
Yep. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I'm kidding. Okay. Parker, I think you're up, boss.
Am I up? I just asked the race question.
You did. I'm lying to everybody. Sorry, Parker. So you're on a bunch of social medias, you know, like I met you through TikTok and like all of that. So what's your origin story for being a content creator? What got you here? What made you get up and go, I want to be an internet personality?
I think it wasn't even like that mindset. I think it was just like, I want to make some people laugh today. Let's see how I can do that. Let's see how I can either make someone laugh or just think or just change their day.
Aw.
Because my mindset or my daily goal in life, really, like day to day, is make one person laugh and you basically alive in the world. Right? Make someone think. And make someone think or change someone's viewpoint or just make someone think of you still. And like that's all I need. I don't need a gajillion fans. I just need someone to watch and laugh. So as long as you make that one person feel something, then you're
golden.
Then I'm golden, exactly.
So you just kind of got up one day and were like, okay, this is a thing I'm going to try out to make.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome. And did you like were you in theater or anything like that, or was it just like, you know what, I just want to put things on the internet and like again spread that positivity?
I think it's the second than the first, because I'm a film major. I majored in film and storytelling. I'm a screenwriting major, or rather, a screenwriting graduate. So like I've always loved to just tell stories and evoke emotions in people and thoughts in my own like daily life.
Sure.
So it just translated to me making videos. Admittedly, some are just shit posts, but like
what content creator can really look anybody in the eye and be like, yeah, I never shit post?
That's
a liar. That's what that person. It's just like I wanted to just, I had ideas in my head and I wanted them out, so I started just making content that just made me laugh or made me think.
Oh, that's super cool. Have you been applying anything you've learned in your kind of D&D space and like in your writing? Is that something that's kind of been beneficial for you?
Yeah, because for screenwriting you have to learn about the characters you're writing about, right? You have to like become them to some level, to some extent, and in screenwriting you have to ask really, really small questions like, how does a character wake up, or how does a character respond to this question or that question, or like what do they smell like, or what are they just real small micro questions to build on and keep asking so you have a fully realized person.
That's so interesting.
And so I learned building a skeleton before building a story of a person.
Interesting. So you bring in a lot of experience from that. That's super cool. Okay.
I have our last question, which means it's time for the audience to start doing their questions. So reminder to everybody that we'll be looking through to get you guys' questions. Make sure that you highlight them if you can, and if you can't, one of our moderators will probably grab it for you. But we will start going through those as soon as this question is done, so you can go ahead and start putting those in chat. Our last question is actually just, what's your biggest hobby outside of D&D and TTRPGs?
My biggest hobby, I think my biggest hobby is just either like just randomly screenwriting. I'll write a random script for something that will never see the light of day, or just comedy, just making up jokes and then putting it out there, just to continually upgrade myself as a comedian, and just bring perspective that some might not have seen, or and like get feedback that I may not have seen, and start a conversation and just start a form of thought that can evolve into something greater.
It's fascinating how like D&D does this too. Like I've continually had to challenge misconceptions I've had as a part of that creative process, right? Like it's a constant thing.
Yeah, definitely.
That's so good. All right. Well, that means that it's time for the audience questions. So, guys,
and we have a bunch.
A bunch? Oh my god, they're all excited
already.
To hear from you. Would you want to start reading them, Parker? Did you want me to? What are you feeling?
I can start.
Okay.
The Allburn Alchemist asks, Hi, Kat.
Hi, Kat.
Has there been a moment in-game or character that has impacted you in your everyday life?
Always a solid question.
I've had characters who have gone against my moral compass. Specifically, I make them specifically to do that and to challenge myself to gain a difference in perspective. And like I've been villains, because a mantra a lot of the times for storytelling is a villain is the hero of their own story. And like I've wondered what the line is between highly motivated and just a villain, and like just villainy, and like to get what one wants, how far do you go? And I've pushed that line several times for myself, just to see how far I can go without me becoming uncomfortable. And I've surprised myself in lots of instances of like, I know this world is fake, but that choice matters to the people. Like that's going to echo, and that's going to be just a hot mess for a lot of others. And like, is my character okay with it? If my character's okay with it, am I okay with it? If I'm okay with it, what does that mean? And then I'll go into more questions about myself and that character all at the same time, as an overthinker typically does.
Yep.
That's super good.
Yep. Let's see. Library of Lost Tales asks, what has been an unforgettable moment for you in game?
This one game, like years ago, we had control over an airship. Or there's a boss fight on an airship, and things escalated. We were against Sky Pirates, I believe, and things escalated to the point where we crashed the airship into the capital city's library.
Oh God!
Oh,
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
the books.
The books. Yes, the books. It's a real bad situation. They were because the bad guys were trying to crash the airship into this like giant tower that went past the clouds that would have devastated even more of the capital. So we were like, if the ship's going to crash, it's going to crash somewhere else, not here. And unfortunately, the way things happened, the library got smashed. Though none of our characters were wizards or people who read books, so we were okay with it. But at that, we were
Absolutely
like,
fucking not.
You're like, we're good.
All right, we lived. Sick. Those books we did.
I love that.
There definitely weren't any first editions in that library.
Yeah, no. Plus, we had gotten kicked out that library, so we were okay. We were double okay with it.
Oh my God.
I love that.
So it wasn't a vendetta or anything at all.
Oh, that's so good. So the outcome was just that the library was destroyed?
Yeah.
I love, and this was
library
very
was destroyed and day was saved.
You were all heroes.
Yeah, and we were all heroes. And then a dragon showed up. And we were like,
Jesus.
fuck. We're like, the Sky Pirates were like, oh, we thought we were done with this shit. Here's a dragon we had kept up in a cage.
Our pet dragon.
Our pet dragon. We were like, wait, what? Pet what now?
These are some very well-equipped Sky Pirates. I like them.
They were bad. They were pretty bad people. And then
not great.
Then I got to punch it, so that was another highlight.
We know we've learned already what a big fan of punching dragons.
Yeah, I punched it. I got a killing blow, so that was cool. Punched it and got killing blow because I punched it in the stomach too many times, had an ulcer, died. So,
oh my God.
10 out of 10.
10
Would dragon punch again?
Oh, definitely.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Mythalidor asks, which this is one of my favorite questions, if you could cast Find Familiar in real life, what would your familiar be?
A peregrine falcon.
Ooh.
Wow, you had that ready to go.
Because it's my favorite animal.
That's fair.
So like I would definitely have me, because it's the fastest bird, I believe. The fastest flying bird, because I know the ostrich is faster. I think. And yeah, I would have just I would call him I think about it now, I laugh. I would call him Hawk with an E.
Okay, nice.
Falcon.
Falcon. He's a falcon.
Yeah, it's very
He's a falcon named Hawk.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Just a Singing Geek asked, if you had to choose a class for yourself in real life, what would you be, and would you multi-class?
Ooh.
It's funny again. I would most likely be a bard, because I love storytelling, which is funny because I say I don't play bards.
Fair.
Yeah, but I love knowledge and I love telling stories and I love storytelling. So I would probably be a College of Lore bard or an Eloquence bard, depending.
Both
College of Lore
fantastic.
is my favorite.
It's a good subclass. It's got solid.
Very
Um, let's see. Obscure to the World asks, how many pages is your biggest backstory?
A single page.
That's
Wow.
all you got. That's
A
beautiful.
single page.
Okay, so why? Because this is a debate that people have. What is the reason?
My thing is, yes, you can have trauma in your backstory. I typically love when my characters have no trauma at all. And the adventure is the experience. The adventure is when they get to grow as a person. It's starting from zero and having that hero's journey, as it were, is my favorite template for a character. So I'll have bare minimum for details because I don't know it, and I want to find that out through the character together with them. I'll have characters with trauma. I'll have experienced and weathered people and weathered characters, but my favorite to play is the one with nothing, because it gives my DM stuff to work with, and it gives me more surprises as I play them.
I've played those characters, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, so the longest backstory I'll write as a principal is a page.
I love that.
Let's see. The Alchemist asked, I may have missed this, but do you have any desire to go on stage comedy, or does being on screen feel more comfortable?
I've done both, actually. I've done both. I've done stand-up comedy for crowds here in New York City.
Really?
And yes, I have nothing filmed, unfortunately, but like I have done a couple of sets. But I do love on screen, working on screen, because it gets to a larger audience of people. So like just being able to reach out with my jokes to people that I can't see is pretty fun.
What was it like? Like, what was it like on stage to do stand up? Like, I don't know anything about that. What's it experience?
Oh, absolutely terrifying. It was the worst.
It was the worst.
It was the worst. Like, telling jokes to random strangers is honestly one of the most frightening public speaking events I've ever had to do, or ever done to myself, I should say.
Fair.
Because you have to read the room as soon as you get on stage, and you have to look at the audience and know your audience like that. To be able to read a room that fast is like an anxiety build I almost never want to see again, but at the same time I do, because it's a challenge and I love challenging myself to do things like that. And changing your jokes on the fly and being able to look at a person, observe a person, and tell jokes about them or with them, and sharing the experience between the audience and myself. It's both terrifying and exhilarating at the same time.
Sounds like an art form. I mean, it is an art form, obviously, but it's the way you describe it, like
nice balance.
Yeah,
it's a nice balance of things.
Wow, that's super cool.
Cremaniac asked, "What's your favorite game-breaking moment while playing?" Have you had a game-breaking moment?
Anytime, and the DMs love and hate this. Anytime you ask for a character's name and they don't have it, and you all just sit there wondering what name they're going to come up with.
Valid.
And being like, come on, what's the name? Is it going to be Goofy, or is it going to be like Steve or Kevin or like some name you can turn into a pun, and then that's the name of the character forever.
Yep.
Albert.
It's like, wow, really? That's the name you came up with? We'll never let it go. So that's why you gotta be careful with your boss names too.
Mm.
Because once a boss name has a silly name or a name you can make into a pun, their horror factor goes from like a level 5 to a negative billion.
Significantly down.
Significantly destroyed the appeal of that villain.
That's fair. I'm trying to remember. I don't know who said it, but somebody after a Conundrum Company game called Father Obedience Daddy Obedience, and now it's like significantly less
Yeah, like that's not.
intimidating.
Yeah, like cool.
I'm still terrified, and Debbie's still terrified, but it does make me giggle when I think about it.
Yeah,
that just makes it my job to make you scared of him again.
It's okay. We are.
It's a challenge that I love that exactly. I love that interaction of like he's not scared anymore. Oh, bet he's not.
Come at me, bro.
Time to bring it back up to 11. Like,
I guess we're there.
You thought
he's gonna kick a puppy right in front of you. That's good.
Those poor puppies.
He'll just punt it into a field goal.
Oh no, the baby.
Oh, that child you like? Oh, that child NPC? It's time to kill it.
we haven't had any kid NPCs, thank goodness.
That are villains.
Just you wait. It's gonna be a child villain. They're gonna get you into a false sense of security, and they're just gonna rock your whole world.
I bet. Just a Singing Geek asked, do you have a favorite memory or moment from a game that resulted from a critical success and or failure?
Critical success, I killed that dragon with a critical.
So
that one will always be cool. Because we were all tapped out, basically. Like, we had nothing left in the tank. And it was like what was it? Like a D6 at the time. It wasn't anything big. And I popped like a balloon, and I was like, yes! We're all tired. It's like an 8-hour session. Let us go home, please. But like a critical fail memory is I had a character get blinded by the wind by another character's fart. For pretty much like not half the session, but like pretty much half the session, where a character just got like all his senses just taken away from him because of one fart as a joke, and then that just
it lives with you forever, right?
I'm like, oh god, please don't flatulate near me ever again.
It haunts you.
It haunts me.
Gosh. No Way asked, what non-TTRPG media has most often or most deeply influenced your TTRPG experience?
I think like a lot of people, it's a bunch of like TV, movies, animations, of just like speeches of a character or how a character's aesthetic pleases you. Like I can make a whole character based on like a single line, because like just to like build on one aspect of one thing you saw that's TTRPGs in a nutshell. TTRPGs and TTRPG characters might as well just be, hey, plagiarism, the game.
True.
Valid.
Very true.
And then we're all cool with it because we're all plagiarists. Like no one is
free.
Original. No one's free. You will always take from something.
Inspiration,
which is cool, which is amazing because you come up with amazing characters and amazing character moments because of those inspirations.
Valid. Very valid.
Just a Singing Geek asked, do you have any character tropes you love to include or will avoid at all costs when building characters?
I don't like chosen one archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, I'm destined to be this way. I'm the hero. I'll do the thing. I'll take the spotlight. Hear me roar. Don't like that. I like playing characters that go against their cliched looks. Like for Monk, it's that classic wisdom filled like kind of like bald head, only like simple robes kind of character, and I'll make a monk a thug who's got technique, but it's really just like really rough and ragged, and he just happens to have wisdom that's like
you can be streetwise or something.
Streetwise,
right?
exactly. Yeah. It's nothing like nothing like quotes of like long masters, long past. Like no, he's just a really good fighter. Or like I'll have a fighter who doesn't think with blades. Instead, he just wants to problem solve and talk with words. I'll have a ranger that's terrible at being a ranger, but good at other things like spying or playing against like their classic fantasy archetypes is what I like to do most.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Reasons I made a not horny bard.
That's never appealed to that's never appealed to me ever. Like that's why I think I haven't found a good story for a bard yet. It's just like they have so many options for good stories that I'm like overthinking it. It should just make something simple, but they're not simple at all. They're jacks of all trades, masters of none, etc., etc. I'm like, fuck, that's
love me some bards. Library of Lost Tales is asking Volt's usual question: as a player, if you could play as any monster, which would you choose and why? So, like, as a PC, like I always pick Displacer Beast. Like, what would you want to play as a monster?
I would play as a doppelganger.
Ooh.
Because I like when I think doppelganger, I think of like not having a true identity and wanting to find that identity and wanting to find out what kind of person they can be, but like just like not being sure what that means.
I don't know why you said that, and immediately my brain went to Mimikyu. Pokemon? Yeah, like yeah. I immediately was like, oh.
just not knowing who you are because you play people. Your race is famous for playing others and not being real.
Being one thing.
Being one thing and trying to delve into what that means and why is that the destiny I have? What can I change that fate? Can I learn something more?
Well, now I want that to be a thing that you play that I can watch.
I don't know where we are on questions. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I do. Library of Lost Tales asked, is there a system outside of D&D and Pathfinder that you particularly enjoy? If not, is there a system you would like to try out in the future?
In the future, I would like to try out systems like the Cypher system because I've played a bunch of like Apocalypse, but like I would love to try the Cypher system out because the DM doesn't have to roll die. The DM just sets a challenge rating for tasks, and like you have to roll a certain number on a D20 to get successes, and it's main Cypher system's mainly used, or what I've seen is mainly used for things like superhero stuff. Superpowers or your supernatural world kind of things, and I've always wanted to play in the superhero setting. Like it's always been an interest of mine to play with normal people who just suddenly got powers one day. How does that work? Is the world super, or is it new to superpower people? And playing with that storyline.
It's always an interesting narrative that you get to paint with that sort of concept.
Yeah.
What is normal in a world that is not normal?
Yeah. Like, do you have super police? If you do have people with superpowers, what does that mean? Are there laws specifically for people with superpowers? Are there not? Or is it just happening? Or is it law well established? There's a lot you can do with adding a new kind of humanity to the list. So like, it's always interesting to see how the world changes, how our basic world of Earth changes if you add a splash of superpower to it.
Obscure the World asks, what's your favorite multi-class?
Ooh.
I just made this on D&D Beyond, but like my newest one is just a wizard artificer.
Ooh.
Just one who couldn't who's like, I can't decide on if I want to study books or if I want to make things. So I'll do both because I have the intelligence to. So, like, not really a Tony Stark type, but just like, I'm bored. I'll make things because I can, or I'll study magic because it's old and there's a lot of it.
Is there like a specific like Wizards College or anything like that you're seeing in that combination, or is it just is this like kind of level 1-2 sort of thing?
If I could pick, I would. This is the new one that Matt Mercer came up with, Dunamancy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Dunamancy.
yeah.
It's very good.
Who doesn't love time magic? Come on,
Yeah.
it's like time and gravity are like elements I'd love to play around with, but like mostly time.
It's a very fun class.
So it's like a time magic studying armorer artificer.
That's great. I love that.
Let's see.
A man in his time, out of time.
Sorry.
Yep, very Doctor Who. Yep, exactly.
I love Doctor Who. Let's see. Proxima asked, what's the single most useful item to have as a character, in your opinion?
Bag of holding.
That's
right?
a very good answer.
That's so fair.
Anything that gives you mallet space is immediately on the top of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that's like, here, you will not be over encumbered.
Ever.
I think you're the first person to ever answer that question with that, and it is probably like one of the best answers to give.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite items because it's simple, but what you can do with it, especially with artificers. If your DM lets you get away with building a bag of holding, you can just make black hole bombs for a while until your DM gets sick of it.
That takes it away from you.
It just takes it away from you. Yeah.
It's one of those too. Like, it completely changes the way the game runs. You know what I mean? Like, it really does. It takes a lot of bullshit out of the equation.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about, can I fit this in my, like, stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's a big plus with it. It's like, I don't have to worry about this system in this game that it's like over encumbrance and like, you have too many things. No, give me my RPG.
I want to play a fantasy game. Yeah, Don't make me count how much fucking gold I have. Just let me hold it.
Exactly. I might have 3,000 tons of gold in my pockets, but let me have 3,000 tons of gold in my pockets.
I want to bring this cannon with me. God damn it.
We did kind of do that, though.
I mean, it's why you got excited about that extra large portable hole. So you want to hold shit.
God damn it. Well, that's right.
You were so proud of it.
The DMs are just as excited as the players.
I made it bigger.
You made it bigger. Like, I get to hold
You
more
were so
things.
fucking excited. All right.
You could put a whole ass furbog in this.
Oh, man. Never seen them again.
Stop it. You sit down. Sit in your shame corner. Kermaniac asked, the funniest and weirdest thing to happen to your party and or yourself.
We found out that a bag of holding was actually a bag of devouring.
Nice.
Because we had to sneak around this mansion, and our rogue was like, "I'm gonna take the bag of holding and just hold it over this guy's face."
Oh no.
And we're just gonna pull him back, and we're gonna get answers about like how many people are here, and he doesn't. And our DM goes, "You sure about that?" And we're like, "Yeah, why wouldn't we be?" And then he goes like, "As you wrap the bag around this guard's head, all you hear is a loud and sickening crunch as the body drops clean and blood drips from the now revealed teeth of this bag." Because we thought we bought a bag of holding because the merchant told us, "Hey, this is a bag of holding." We didn't have a wizard.
Did you stick your hand in that?
No, we didn't get a chance to.
You didn't get to use it?
We just bought it. We were like, cool.
Oh my god.
We just got it, cool. And then like we
I just love the fact that your DM was like, yeah, just can't wait for you guys to put something in it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
he thought that we would put our hand in it and that would be the thing.
There was
Oh, he's
one.
just gonna take your hand?
He was supposed to like there was supposed to be like a dexterity saving throw for like you to see the teeth at the last second. But we were like, let's just go to this guy's mansion already. We bought the thing, we'll put stuff in it later. We'll put like documents or whatever in it to get this guy because we knew he was bad. Or there were rumors that he was bad. We'll just see. And we ended up killing a guard, and we're like, what is that? Because we had never seen a bag of devouring before.
Oh, boy.
And so we were like, is it just in there? Is it like in the mouth space? So like we have to worry about that? To be like, well, how do we
They're
even?
very surprising the first time you run into one.
Yeah, so say that our rogue basically got a free garrote for the rest of the campaign, because that's all we use it for.
Oh my god. You're like, hey, this is effective.
Hey, it helped with a necromancer we have to deal with later.
Oh my gosh.
There was one in Conundrum Company that could be
all we
picked up.
did for the necromancer was like, do you really want to mess with us?
A bag of devouring? You
Yeah.
put a bag of devouring in front of us and we didn't notice?
It wasn't directly in front of you. It was in a room that you never went into.
Oh, thank God. One of us would have lost a hand. It would have been Saul.
Definitely. Yeah. They're good.
Tell me I'm wrong,
I mean,
and Adam can fight me.
He wouldn't be able to fight you because he had no hands.
He knows. Oh my
boy.
lord.
They're great tools to threaten people with because you'd be like, oh, do you really think that you can take us? Just
Do you want to have a talk with my bag of holding? My bag of
our
devouring?
bag of holding, and then stupidly and bravely, I might add, stick like try to flip it backwards so all the heads fall out.
Oh
that
my
you
god.
collected as a threat,
Oh,
and I go, oh, we're the bad guys.
that moment where you're like, we're not good people. We're not the best people, are we?
We're a bunch of mercenaries. Our moral compass is fuck. But it got the message across, and we got passage.
I bet.
Because we just left the heads there and walked by.
Everyone's like, do not mess with those dudes. They are insane.
Don't mess with my rogue and his chompy bag.
Did the bag have a name?
Chompy.
Was that it? Oh my God, I love that.
That's a perfect name.
Yeah.
Just a Singing Geek asked, what's your favorite D&D pickup line or joke or meme?
I think my favorite one is like
Essentially, what's your chuckle of choice?
my chocolate choice. Anything that has to do with a mimic. It's like
Oh, mimics.
I laugh, the bartender laughs, the table laughs,
Mm-hmm.
And we all draw our weapons.
then we all draw our weapons, and then our weapons laugh.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Let's see. Oh, I like this question. No Way asks, was there any point role-playing where you realized your character was just being you in that moment? Like your character was way closer to yourself than you thought?
Good question.
Because I feel like this is a real struggle, because sometimes you play a character and you're like, I didn't make them anything like me. And then you play them for a while and you're like, oh, no, that's my trauma.
Whoops, that slipped
I
in
mean,
there.
this latest character I have that I'm currently is an overthinker, an overthinker who's not a violent person, but knows how to do. Like I just studied karate. I played football, so I know violence, but I don't like it. So but I'm playing a fighter who's the master class of violence, and I'm like, he's also got self-esteem issues. He's overthinks. He overthinks.
He's still my beating heart.
He's still my beating, exactly. He's supportive of everyone, but a horrible critic to himself.
Ah, I have one of those. You can see her every Saturday.
And it's just like you support. I like. It's scary how close I got to making just me.
Yeah,
I've played myself in a D&D one shot, like a whole D&D 80s inspired cartoon one shot, And like even I wasn't playing myself, but like this character is like dangerously close to like, I hope my overthinking doesn't ruin it for the other characters or the other players at the table.
I feel like there's something to be said about the fact that it is easier to find yourself in a character when you didn't intend to than when you're trying to play yourself. Because when you're trying to play yourself, you're thinking about what you are. Whereas like sometimes when I make characters, I make the whole character and then 15 episodes in, I go, oh, I gave you that. That's just me.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Where did this come from?
I didn't write that in the backstory, but there it is.
There it is. It's right there. Huzzah.
There it be.
Oh, you sneaky trauma, you.
I was like, oh, okay.
Slip right in here like that.
Slip right here in the seat.
You thought you just get in there. I didn't notice.
Yeah, like because this would be the first time I'm ever playing a game on a live stream, and so my fear is that either my character will be too boring, will be not interesting. Their choices will make the other characters mad, like angry at me. Like it's a lot where I'm like, where does the character between myself worrying and my character worrying get drawn at?
Yeah.
And like it's still a fear, but at the same time I'm like, these people are really cool. These people I've met, they're really dope. Their characters are amazing, and we've talked about how our characters might act around each other, and like all that stress is like faded away and melted away, which is nice.
I feel like just from like my personal experience, it has a lot to do with the people you're playing with and also just like communication in general. And so that has, I feel like that ends up being, you know, because communication is honestly in the core of every relationship you've ever had. And so I feel like people sometimes forget how much of a collaborative storytelling effort D&D is.
Yeah.
And, you know, just check in, see what's up.
It is very good point.
Let's see. Is there a genre or theme of TTRPG you really enjoy and want to try out or enjoy having in your games?
I am a big modern day fan. I like D&D classes, how they translate to the modern day. Like I said before, I like superhero stuff. And hell, I'll say I like Star Wars.
Hell
I
yeah.
said it.
Us too. I have a lightsaber right there. It's right there.
I have mine. It's over there. And like, I would love to play in a Star Wars D&D campaign. I would love to play in a superhero campaign. I would love to play in a modern day campaign. And it's just like, I just haven't had the chance to do so yet, but I will. I promise the world this. I will be in those things soon.
I think that modern is so much fun because it gets to reimagine the modern world if magic were a thing. And I think that's just so much fun.
Yeah. And it's like, again, it's the question of with the superpowers, like what's the rules with magic compared to the normal world? Is magic a secret or is it just out in the open? And like, are creatures out in the open, or do they have to have like glamours and things?
Can you buy displacer kittens?
Exactly. Can you just buy a baby dragon?
PetSmart? Like, what's up?
Yeah. Can I see a petting zoo with these mythical creatures, and can I pet them?
I wish. No Way has the perfect question for segueing into the end of our program because it is almost at the hour. How is your character profile coming? We usually distract our guests too much to get stuff done on Highlight Heroes.
Jeez, no way.
It's true though.
Just coming after the entire program.
Valid.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, they're correct.
My character profile is actually pretty okay. Like, throughout this interview, I've been thinking mainly about how I want to be perceived and how I want my character to be perceived. Do I want them to be a cowardly lion, or do I want them to be a lion coming of age? Do I want a Simba, or do I want a Mufasa? I've been thinking like, what?
Why not Kovu though?
He's too hot.
Oh my god.
Goomba. It's valid.
It's too hot.
Valid. The amount of
You're both a
times
nightmare.
that this has come up in conversations. God. Okay, moving on. You were saying.
Both a nightmare.
And like, I'm like wondering like, what kind of archetype do I want to play? What do I want to start with, and how do I want to plan? How far do I want to plan? Should I plan it all? Should I think about sort of specific topics more or less? And like, just trying to like zigzag my way through making this person a fully realized, like, rounded circle that's got edges that are rough.
Yeah. I enjoy the character creation process. Which is another reason why I need to DM, so I have somewhere to put all of my will never exist in campaigns NPCs. Well, we're at our hour mark. So first of all, thank you for hanging out with us. Second of all, we need to show off what we were doing. So you kind of just told us, but if you have any more to show off, and then Josh, if you also want to show us what you've been working on.
Sure. He's coming along. Oh my god, he looks terrible on the screen. Look at that. He's a hot mess.
He's got a little jaundice, but it's fine.
He's got a little jaundice. It's not the color palette is not translating.
That's how it works with screen on screen.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh my god.
What about you, Parker? What do you got?
I has a Displacer Atlas.
Nice.
There he is.
Baby.
Nice.
So good.
So
Love to
my
see
little white spots on my baby. He's very
so
cute.
He's so cute. And
He'll stab you with those tails.
And
he will.
I mean, like Parker said, you've kind of already told us all about your boy, but anything else?
As we've been talking, I'm writing about who his family is.
Ooh.
And what classes they play. He's got a mom and a dad and 3 sisters. And he's got some friends on there I've written down, but like, so all my DM can just destroy them and kill me.
Of course.
I love that. I love when you like leave people alive in your backstory and go, something bad's gonna happen to you.
Something bad's gonna happen to all you.
I made the mistake of giving Josh one name. One name, and I was like, oh yeah.
Well, that's the one I'm taking.
It'll happen now, and I'll be like, fuck.
I gave them a whole family, so I can't wait to see how that turns out.
You're like, which one will it be?
Will it be all of them or just
all of them? One?
Oh, possible.
One at a time? Like, where are we going? I love that.
Is the Fire Nation going to attack? Sick.
Maybe.
Love it.
Oh gosh. Well,
my
thank
God.
you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Yeah, of course. And for everybody in the audience, again, tell them where they can find you and what your projects are.
I am Afluffygoomba on pretty much all socials. That includes Napster and MySpace.
Wow.
And I will be playing on an upcoming campaign for Fae Fiends and Friends, the Twitch channel. It's called Tragedy of the Theologian. It's a Greek mythologies inspired campaign for D&D 5e with the lovely Arpleb and Mr. Adep and Dice Goblin Andre and Chaotic Bonnie and myself, and of course Serenity, aka Clickety Clack Snacks, all on TikTok. And I can't wait. It will be coming. We're gonna say April because I don't have an official date yet, but we do have a month, so we're gonna say April on Sundays, and we'll see about that. So far, that's pretty much it for me.
That's amazing. Well, thank you again, man, for hanging out with us. And everyone, thank you for staying with us. We appreciate and love you all. And we will see you Wednesday for Ever-Changing Arena.
That's right. That's our next one.
Woo!
See you guys Wednesday.
Bye!
Bye!
Stay tuned for a raid!